Before you talk to me, will you then let me know when to start? Should I wait?
Bryony will let you know. Well, okay, Tumi will let you know, yes. Bryony will
Guys, I missed that. Must we all jump off?
Yes. Yes, please.
And then we'll watch on Facebook.
Yes, please, Sam.
Okay. Good luck, everyone. You got it.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.
Thank you. Sudika, sure. It's like. So for the opening people, I won't ask each person to introduce, so we'll just follow the order. Is that fine? So after Zeng, it'll be okay.
Hello everyone. I've went live. Can you please tell me if it's streaming already?
It's live. It's live.
Hold tight, guys. We're just verifying that everything's live.
All right, I think that we are live. Hello, SA Youth community. Thank you so much for joining our live engagement this afternoon. My name is Tumi with a Y, and I am the head of communications and PR here at Harambee Youth Employment Accelerator. Now, it is my privilege to be facilitating this conversation today, and a responsibility I don't take for granted. We're really looking forward to having an open conversation, an open dialogue with you all in terms of just recent allegations that we've all seen on social media around the alleged criminal activities that are now being associated with the SA Youth brand. We'd also like to use this moment, this time, to have a conversation about some of your concerns, your frustrations, your feedback around the field marketing roles and companies that young people have been speaking about or reporting on our social media pages. And I think today, most importantly for us, an opportunity for us to hear some of your additional comments, your additional feedback around this matter. It helps us grow as an organization and also ensures that we remain committed not only to integrity and transparency, but to ensuring that we keep young people at the center of everything that we do as an organization. Now, I'm going to give you a quick overview of our structure. Hopefully it won't be that serious, that formal. It really is about that two-way conversation, that two-way dialogue. And so what we're going to do is just open the conversation with a round of questions that we've collated from some of the social media engagements we've seen. We've also curated a really great panel. We've invited key representatives in the organization who work in different teams focusing on the SA Youth brand, the SA Youth platform, those who are on the pulse in terms of just what young people are saying, what partners are saying. And so we're hoping to use this opportunity to really unpack and dig deeper in terms of what you have been sharing with us this week. Now, please use the chat section to share your comments, your feedback. We have an incredible team behind the scenes that are going to ensure that we answer as many of your questions as possible. Now, without wasting any more time, I'm really excited. I hope you can see my colleagues. We've got Zengeziwe Simang, we've got Kubene, we've got Lesego and Zakira. And what we're going to do today is ask them to just introduce themselves when they joined the organization, the kind of work that they're doing, and some of their roles and responsibilities in the business. Zeng, I'm going to start with you. Good morning, good afternoon. How are you feeling today?
Thanks so much, Dumi. I am feeling good, excited to be talking to the young people and engaging in this way that we are, and really glad that we have put together this engagement. As you said, my name is Zengeziwe Msimang. I am the Chief Communications Officer or spokesperson for Harambee Youth Accelerator. And I have been at the organization. I started in June 2021. So it's 3 years and a little bit now. And my role here is basically to manage communications. As I said, I'm the spokesperson. And I also do work around branding and the SA Youth platform brand and all the brands that we have at Harambee. So that's me in a nutshell.
Thank you. So you've heard it, all the questions around the brand, particularly the SA Youth brand and the Harambee brand, then we'll be answering your questions. I'm going to hand over to you, Kuben. When did you join the organization and what kind of work do you get up to in this business?
Thank you, Tumi, and good afternoon to everybody. Yeah, I've joined Harambee about 7 years ago, been in many roles, but now I am the Chief Technology Officer, and me and my team, our tech team, we're responsible for all of the technology that enables our young people, our partners, as well as our staff. And this includes the SA Youth platform.
Thank you so much. So yeah, I'm sure there are already so many questions and comments about what is this Mobi site? And we look forward to hearing more from you around the technology behind the platform. Zakira, I'd like to bring you into this conversation. How are you feeling? What is your role? How long have you been here?
Thank you so much, Tumi, and good afternoon to everyone. My name is Zakira Whittles, and I've been with Harambee since February this year, and I form part of the assisted delivery operations team, and my role is really to work with the team to assist our employer partners with setting up opportunities on the platform to ensure that these youth actually get opportunities and placements. So that's my role within the company. Thank you.
Fantastic. I'm sure you're already ready to answer questions around these field marketing roles and opportunities. We look forward to hearing more about what that looks like. Lesego, I'm sure a lot of people already know you. They've seen you on the TikTok streets. Tell us about who you are, when you joined the organization, and the type of work that you do in the organization.
Sorry about that. Good day, everyone. Good day to me with a Y. Hi, Zihlobo. It has been a minute. My name is Lesego Maloka. I'm a team leader in the youth services space. So I engage with the youth every day. So I'm in that space where we are taking those calls or either making those calls to our young work seekers / TikTok presenter. Yeah. So I joined the organization in 2019. Yeah.
Fantastic. Shobo, you've heard it from Lesego. She wears multiple hats, but I think at the pulse and at the heart of what young people are saying. So we're really, really excited to be hearing from you as well. I think young people are critical stakeholders, so it's important for us to really hear what they're saying. Now, I've been at Harambee for a year this month, literally, so I no longer feel like a newbie like Zakira, but I'm really, really excited to be in this room, in this moment, having this conversation with you all. And I think we're going to go straight into it. Zeng, I'm going to start with you. There's been a lot of confusion about just the branding component of this all. SA Youth versus Harambee Youth Employment Accelerator. People have even said, we've seen non-profit organization on your Facebook page, but where are you located? Where are the SA Youth operations taking place? In your view, or to provide a bit of clarity, is SA Youth a platform? Is it an organization? And most importantly, does it offer legitimate job opportunities?
Thanks so much, Dooms, and that's a great question. So let me just kick off by giving a little bit of background. Harambee Youth Accelerator is a not-for-profit social enterprise. So we're basically a not-for-profit company, and what we've done is we've been operating for 13 years now. And in that 13 years, we've always, our mandate and our commitment has always been to try and find ways to partner with people across society in order to address the youth unemployment challenge. Actually, it's a crisis, right? We've got almost 9 million young people who are not employed. So that's why Harambee Youth Employment Accelerator was established. And I think what we realized, there was a time when we had about 100,000 young people that were coming into the office every year. And we had an office on 1 Fox Street. And I think there's a lot of people who are listening in now who will be familiar with those offices. And then in 2021, we launched the SA Youth platform. And we launched it really with the understanding that we were able to address, like I said, almost 100,000 people would come through our doors and we'd be doing trainings, etc. And then what we realized was that given the size of the challenge, one, we have to partner with other people across the board. So SA Youth, the SA Youth platform is an initiative that is operated by Harambee, but it really includes government stakeholders. We've got stakeholders from other civil society organizations, and of course, the private sector, which is where you see, not all, because government also uploads opportunities, but that's where you see the bulk of opportunities that are coming up, private sector opportunities. Altogether, we have 2,500, almost 2,500 employer partners. So those are partners that are committed, and we put up their opportunities every single day. These are vetted companies, and that's what enables them to become our partner. And the opportunities are legitimate. So you can't get onto the platform if you haven't been vetted by our team first. But in a nutshell, essentially, SA Youth, the SA Youth platform is an initiative from across. Another word for it could also be a public-private partnership, right? And it's basically all across society saying, how do we come together and make opportunities, one, visible to young people? No networks, no, this is my cousin's brother's friend, so he got the job. This is the job, let us see it, and let young people see what the job is. Also, can they access it from their phones or something that is easy instead of the high cost of transport that we realize that young people are paying just to go to job opportunities or drop their CVs in places. And I think the other one is just the cost of work seeking, not just transport and photocopying CVs and all of that, but also the cost of actually using the network, which is why job seeking, we're looking for jobs, which is why it's free to use and that you don't actually have to use your data. So that's who we are in a nutshell.
Thank you so much. I think a lot of people needed that context, especially those who met Harambee pre-SA Youth and those who are meeting SA Youth and no relationship with Harambee. So I think that's quite informative and useful just to differentiate between how it was established, who the partners are in this public-private partnership conversation, but most importantly, the role that Harambee plays as an operator of this platform. Zakira, I'm going to bring you into this conversation. Let's get straight into some of these frustrations, these concerns. Zeng spoke about the fact that, you know, our partners are vetted, and there's an array of partners from various parts of the economy, various sectors. The biggest frustration that I'm hearing is particularly around the field marketing opportunities. Young people are saying, remove them. We don't want them. We don't want them. Number two, you know, there are some partners who continue to spam us, you know, send us multiple SMSs in a day. You apply for an opportunity and immediately there's an interview that is scheduled. So talk to us about the vetting process. Do you vet your partners? And yeah, what is your view around these frustrations and particularly around commission-based roles?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Tumi. So firstly, every employer who registers on the SA Youth platform undergoes a thorough vetting process by our team. And this is to ensure that these organizations are legitimate, they're safe and registered with the South African authorities. We also conduct extensive online research, looking at reviews and additional information to actually verify the credibility of these organizations to ensure that they are legit and actually operating. And in addition, our team also performs quality assurance checks of these job opportunities made available on the platform by these employers after they've been verified. So when these opportunities go live, we trust that the partner or the employer is being truthful about what that opportunity entails. And what we have picked up sometimes is that employers are not always totally upfront about the kind of opportunities. And sometimes they would state that it's a basic salary included, and then when you get to the job, you actually find out actually it's a commission-based opportunity. And that is something we need to know and to understand better, and that we need to rectify with the partner. So the ask is for the young people to get back to us and actually tell us if the partner misrepresented what that opportunity is actually about, so that we can take those opportunities down and we can actually engage with the partner and try and resolve it. Historically, we have removed partners from our platform who have misrepresented opportunities which were initially flagged by our young people. With regards to the spamming of the SMSs, we have picked up through the feedback we receive from our young people that partners are over-communicating their opportunities and are sometimes spamming our young people by sending them multiple SMSs, even when they haven't arrived for interviews, and this is something that our team is taking very seriously, and we are going back to check on our quality assurance with the SMSs being sent from the platform and to add additional features that will actually prevent the work seekers from being spammed. And we're also working very closely with our platform development and technical team on resolving this and looking at different methods and processes that we can use so that we can prevent this from happening in the future. With regards to the field marketing opportunities that has been hyped on social media, after having heard from the young people about their frustrations and these marketing partners, you would have seen on social media that we have suspended all the profiles of those organizations offering field marketing opportunities. And the work of our team at the moment, post this investigation, is to really figure out what are we going to do about these field marketing opportunities. And we are absolutely going to take all the feedback that we've been receiving from the young people into consideration, so that whatever it is that we decide on to do, that we have factored in all the feedback from the young people, considering all avenues and inputs.
Sure, I think that is quite important, us being able to take this feedback and really not just make a quick decision about it, but to really look at ways in which we can make it mutually beneficial and make sure that young people remain safe when they're looking for work or attending some of these interviews, but also making sure that our partners also are adhering to best practices in terms of just how we engage with young people. So I'm excited that we've suspended these partners and are going to undergo a thorough investigation to really figure out which ones need to be re-uploaded or, revising our strategies around this particular space. Kuben, let me bring you into the conversation. One of the comments we saw on Twitter was, where is this platform even operated from? I think Zeng touched on it earlier, but people were finding addresses in Belgium, in Pritchard Street, when, so can you just let us know? I mean, this location problem keeps coming up in multiple articles and in social media comments. Has the system been hacked? Tell us, has it been hacked? And are you working with scammers who are basically taking people and young people to very dangerous locations across Johannesburg City? Has the system been hacked? And what's the deal with the IP address?
Thank you, Tumi, for that question. It's been amazing just seeing that spread all over social media. So let me just get into it. So no, we've not been hacked, and I'm very proud to say that we've never been hacked. As for the location, I guess as you can see, we're not faceless scammers. The posts that have been shared is very harmful misinformation. And maybe to explain a little bit, what's happened is the people that have been sharing those posts and the so-called evidence, which really is misinformation, they looked at our IP address, which is our internet address of the SA Youth website. So one post shared the internet address of the sayouth.org.za website, which then points to an associated location at the center of Johannesburg. Another post looked at the internet address of the sayouth.mobi site and said, well, that's pointing to a location in Europe or in Brussels or Belgium, as you said. But important to know that internet address, the location that's associated with it, points to the internet service provider that hosts the website. So internet service provider, they have their services in Joburg, and the proximate location is showing you where's that website posted. On the Mobi site, because our Mobi site is hosted by Google, their servers are in Europe. That's why it's there. If you had to look in a year from now, when the Mobi site gets put onto Google's local data service, you'll see, a location here. So it's not to say that, it's the location of the building as has been alleged. That's not our building. Our building in Joburg. So, Zeng mentioned we were in Fox Street before. Now we are in Braamfontein. As many of you, I think, already on the posts have correctly said. And it's also where I'm sitting right now. We also have offices in Cape Town and Rwanda and Kigali, and that's easily found. So no, that was very false information being shared, and we've not been hacked.
Thank you so much. And I must say, I'm also here in CBD, when Braamfontein. So we do actually operate from Johannesburg. But Prince Nino Mokase says, I would like to ask, is my personal information safe? I forgot to add that. And Prince is bringing that piece about just our data and personal information on the platform itself. Are we safe? Are young people's data safe? Is young people's data safe?
Yeah, that's a great question, Prince. And I think a real one to address that concern as that's been flying around kind of social media. What's important to note is, yes, we take data security and privacy, very kind of seriously, and we obviously have to adhere to POPIA and the acts and the laws. And if there is or has ever been a kind of data leak or data breach, then we are obliged to report that to the information regulator, report that publicly, as well as report that to you individually if there's been any kind of misuse and abuse and leak of your data. That has never happened in our existence. If that ever has to happen, we will let you know. Important also to know is that the employer partners, so Zeng talked about the almost 2,500 employer partners on our platform. They can't all just someone look at the database and see all of your information. They can't view all of that. In fact, what happens is that when you apply for an opportunity, that employer that you apply to, that's the only time that they can see some of your information. It's almost like sending them a CV and the information that's on their CV to be able to make a decision around an interview is what they will receive. Once they then shortlist you for an interview, that's when they're able to use your contact information to contact you, to invite you for that interview. So no, it's not like it's visible and it's able to be used, across the platform. If, however, you have concerns and you're finding that, and I see reports on social media that partners or employers are messaging them in WhatsApp and other areas, or they're not sure if it's real, then that's something definitely you should report to us and let us know, and we can help verify. And if it is a partner kind of misusing your information or your contact details, then we can act on them.
Thank you so much. I know that the team are probably already putting the details, our toll-free number, the email address where people can just, again, report some of these issues if they are happening. So yeah, thank you. I'm glad that we have never been hacked. That gives me a sense of relief as well. Lesego, your team has been doing a lot of work in terms of just fielding communication, calls from young people, even their family members to some extent. What are you hearing? What would you say is at the core, at the heart of their frustrations and concerns?
Thank you for the question first. Thank you, Tumi. While listening to calls, actually what we're getting mostly, besides the questions, obviously, is what's on social media, true and all that. We are getting young work seekers calling us and asking us, why is my interview cancelled? And yeah, and I think more than anything, because we are for the youth and also providing those opportunities, that has been like the most hardest question that we have received on how to tell someone that little bright hope is not there anymore. But then we have assured them that once we have sorted out all the issues, the investigation is done, and then we will bring back some of those field marketing companies back, and then they will go for their interviews. I think another thing that I'd like to share, which was very nice and amazing, was a young work seeker that called in because they were afraid for their job. They work for one of those field marketing companies, but they're not registered with SA Youth. However, because we have put in on our social media for them to call us, regardless of if they are with us or not, and to find out what's happening, if all this is legit and stuff. This young work seeker called in, they were so afraid for their job, and they just wanted us to assure them that they're not working for a bogus company. And we did exactly that. We asked them, are you still working there? How long have you been working there? So these are things that they knew and they were sure of, but because of what's been happening on social media, they were a bit scared, and now they were not sure if they were going to be trafficked after. But they've been with that company for 6 months. They've been working with that company for 6 months. They are comfortable there. They are making commission, which is good. But they were not even registered with us, but we were able to assure them that they're fine. And once the investigation is done, the name of the company will be put back on our Mobi site, sorry. And they also wanted to register. After that call, they registered on the Mobi site. So yeah.
Thank you so much. That is so nuanced and so layered. I think there's that piece around just the job opportunity and the disappointment with, where young people are going. You're canceling just that one opportunity for me to enter into the economy. So I think there's value in really unpacking a little bit further just around, we know that young people, as Zeng mentioned, over 9 million young people who are not in employment, not in training, and education. So again, do we just remove these jobs, or is there space for us to really review and investigate which ones are still valid and which ones still offer viable and dignified jobs for young work seekers? So thank you for that feedback. I think, yeah, there's so much to unpack. But Zeng, let me bring you back into the conversation. The big issue around fake websites and social media handles impersonating SA Youth. The impact of just what that has done, not only for the SA Youth platform, but for various other credible recruitment platforms. Can you talk to us a little bit about, how young people can actually confirm that this is an SA Youth opportunity? Because we know that there are many people who are taking our content, rephrasing it, writing it in very interesting ways. The grammar is not so great. The URLs aren't so safe. How can a young person actually confirm that this is an SA Youth opportunity?
Thanks, Dumi. And I think that's a great question. And I actually, as I'm listening to this conversation, we started the conversation with me saying I'm feeling great. But I actually am feeling kind of sad. It's been a really hard week for us here at Harambee, and for the SA Youth platform. And I think the fake sites are a reality of the world that we operate in now. When you are a tech enabling company, there's always going to be fakes, because as we said, there's almost 9 million people that are unemployed. And so young people are vulnerable. They want to work, they want to find opportunities, and it really is almost a market where people with bad intentions can operate. And if you're copying a logo and putting it up as yourself and then scamming people or trafficking people, it's also very hard for us as the legitimate organization to be able to know who is out there scamming. Because it's a reality, we have a dedicated team. It's actually a team of 2 that are constantly trolling through social media. We've got 2 verified SA Youth accounts, one of them which is on Twitter. So, and we are also verified, so it's that difficulty of we're always trying to bring them down. We're always reporting them, but they exist, and almost it's almost as fast as we pull them down, another one pulls up, So I think that the fake sites are difficult. We do the best that we can to constantly try and pull them down, but we also have this massive work that we're doing constantly in just trying to address youth unemployment in this country. So I think that's one piece of it. A second piece of it is the misinformation. And I wish I could understand why there are people who are out there who are doing this, because I don't understand it. And I think as a team, this team, we've been trying to get to the bottom of people who are purposely telling and lying. They're lying. They're not telling the truth. And they're posting things that they know are not true. They're posting misinformation and untruths, and that damages not just our brand, it damages our ability. We've had people who have unsubscribed this week because they're afraid. And what they're afraid of, trafficking, abuse on the system, etc., is not real. As Kuben has said, I'm not saying that that doesn't happen in social media or in that space, but we verify our partners. We've opened the investigation. We've suspended people because we take it so seriously. But in the investigations that we've done thus far, we haven't been able to find any evidence of people who have gone missing through the SA Youth platform. So I think it's twofold for me. It's the fake sites themselves, but then it's the people who are waking up in the morning to actually take opportunities away from other young people. And that for me is something we're investigating, because we need to understand it so that we can get ahead of it, so that we make sure that we are available to do the work that we are all here to do, which is to enable young people to access opportunities. Now, I think just to answer your question about the hows in terms of safety and verifying on the platform, and I think Koobs touched on it a little bit earlier on, but you would receive firstly, the SMS that you would receive is only if you've applied for that opportunity. So if you haven't applied for an opportunity and you receive an SMS or a communication that is saying, here's an opportunity, it's SA Youth, it's not SA Youth because you haven't applied for it. So firstly, if you haven't applied for the opportunity, it's not us. I think the second thing that's important is that you will get a hashtag, the SMS will have a hashtag with the name of the organization, and then it will also have the link, and that links back to our secure system. It links back to where the opportunity card is. So I think if young people are vigilant, because as I said, we are not in full control of all of the fraudsters and all of the people who are putting up fake sites or sending SMSs or do it as they will. So I think it's about being clear on when you receive that message. If you didn't apply for the opportunity, if it doesn't have hashtag, name of the company, and then a link back to the SA Youth platform and the opportunity card itself, then it's not us.
Sure. Yeah, that's quite important because you mentioned that there's a small team working in social media, but there's a bigger team in the network experience space who are literally available to, support and walk alongside the young work seekers as they receive these interview requests, so that they can literally check it. So I think we can't get too tired. Like, I think young people need to be encouraged to report, to send feedback, to verify. But as Zeng said, none of the opportunities that come from the system, there's a particular URL that you can follow, but it needs to link you back into our secure system. Sure, I'm feeling it as well. I feel like in the beginning it was like brand, platform, but now it's like lived experience, it's our reality. And all of us know a young person, a young work seeker who's gone through this. Kuben, before we open the floor for more questions, can you give us maybe a breakdown of some of the opportunities that young people can access today? I think we've spoken about the challenges, the fear, which is a real issue. But are there some, other opportunities that we'd like to perhaps share with the SA Youth community today, that they can actually go into the system and see, view, and maybe even give us more feedback in terms of what they are, which sectors they fall under, etc.
Yeah, thanks, Jimmy. That's such a great question, because I think we've been talking so much about the opportunities we've suspended, but not enough about the opportunities that we have. And I think what's amazing is that even after the kind of suspension, we have well over 4,000 paying opportunities and vacancies right now on SA Youth. And if I can give a taste, to the audience, to all of you, about what some of those opportunities are. They include about 200 call center jobs and training opportunities with companies like Shadow Careers and Webhelp. They include about 300 delivery driver jobs with Green Riders. They include some internship opportunities, internships with FNB, with PEP, even with Yes for Youth opportunities and with other companies. An ambassador opportunity for Time Bank. There's financial advisor opportunities with the Old Mutual, and digital and data analytics opportunities, including opportunities that are learning, what we call learning opportunities, to grow your skills and to be a kind of better work seeker and hopefully get more opportunities in the future. So yeah, I think that's just a taste of what we have already verified. Important to note is that, of course, when you log in, what you will see is those opportunities recommended for you. So it'll be the opportunities that are closest to you and where you live, as well as those that match to your profile. You can always search for any of these opportunities if you want to have a look, and you can contact us if you need help with searching. And I think what we'll do over the kind of coming days is just highlight and spotlight on our social media some of the opportunities that we are seeing on the platform with links to them, so that you can have a look and have access to some of these really exciting opportunities.
Thank you, Kuben. And I like that piece that you mentioned around the geo mapping and making sure that young people are able to access opportunities closest to where they are, but also customized to their skills, their capabilities and strengths, etc. There's a question that keeps coming up for you, Zakira, I think just around the feedback to partners about this, about the field marketing opportunities particularly. Are we giving them feedback, and what type of feedback are we giving them based on what we've heard from young people? What are we saying? What are the key areas that we're really trying to understand, revise, and review? Because I think a lot of what's come up is we've sent emails, we've sent communication, but somehow there is no change. So what steps are we also taking just to ensure that this feedback literally lands in the right emails, in the right ears, perhaps?
Okay. Are you referring to like feedback after they've conducted their interviews and wanting to get that feedback?
I think
Sure.
twofold. Yeah.
Okay, so often we tell young people that if they haven't heard back from the employer within a week or two after the interview, they should consider themselves unsuccessful for that specific role. And often employers don't give us that information. As much as we would like to get it, they don't share that with us. But I would encourage and continue encouraging the youth to apply for those opportunities and not to give up. Can you just repeat the second part of the questions? I didn't hear the one in the field marketing opportunities. Can you just repeat that again for me?
I was just saying, like, one of the key challenges has really been about, okay, you've suspended them, but what are you actually saying to them? What are we actually investigating in relation to these jobs? But I think you also touched on the very key point around feedback from the interviews themselves. So after I've attended your interview, maybe my experience wasn't so great. Do they actually use that to revise and change how their processes as organizations?
Yes, we would believe that they would. There's a lot of factors that we take into consideration when it comes to the feedback. Like I mentioned previously, when I reiterated that when we make these decisions, we have to take the feedback of the youth. We have to take the information from the field marketing companies as well. And internally as SA Youth, we then need to consolidate all of that information to craft what our response is going to be for the field marketing agencies, what those responses are going to be for our youth, and as well, what does that mean for us working on the floor, on the ground, with the team on the SA Youth platform? What does that mean for us having to decide on what is going to be the next steps for us? Are we going to suspend field marketing opportunities forever? Are we going to open up field marketing opportunities and introduce new set of requirements and specifications? So there's a lot of work that we still need to do, factoring all the information that we need to get from the investigation. And once we concluded our investigation, we will then be able to decide on what is the best way forward for us and for the youth and for the field marketing companies.
Sure. Yeah, I can imagine how tough that's going to be, just really navigating the space, understanding who are the bad actors, who are some of the, credible organizations. I mean, all of them have been verified, but who are we moving forward with? So yeah, thank you and good luck to you and the team. Lesego, there's a question for you here from Catherine. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name. Apologies if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. But Catherine Skuni is asking, what security methods have you, no, sorry. She's asking about security methods, but I think at the core of what she's asking at the end is, my question is, how certain are you that the call is legit? So how certain can a young work seeker be that the person who's actually calling me right now is who they say they are, but also is a representative of the SA Youth platform? So we know how to kind of verify and confirm the URL itself. But when it comes to phone calls, anybody can say they're calling from SA Youth.
Okay. So when we call in our work seekers, we do have a verification process. Besides it being a requirement from POPIA, we also want to be sure, again, that we are speaking to the person that's either called in or that we have called. So we do have a verification process that we go through with the young work seekers before we even go into their profile. So we usually let them know that I'm just going to ask you a few questions just to verify if I'm speaking to the correct person. And then once that is verified, then we then have access to their Mobisite portfolio, and then we can continue assisting them.
Thank you so much. I think that is quite important because we've been focusing a lot on the social media, the online piece, and not enough on the personal information that is probably exchanged via the telephone. Kuben, here's a question for you from Johannes Chautsani. Chautsani is asking, when I click on the job sites provided on your Mobi site, it requires mobile data. I thought it was free.
Yeah, that's a good question, Janice. So let me try and explain some of the different types of opportunities. So when you look at an opportunity card on the Mobi site, so some of them you will see it would have a badge and a tick that would say this is a partner opportunity, a partner verified opportunity. Those are opportunities that Zakira was explaining, where employers have registered with us, they've gone through our vetted and verification processes, and they use the SA Youth platform, to get your information, to make a selection. We recommend hiring decisions, and they contact you. So for those opportunities, when you click on them and when you click to apply, that entire journey, you stay in SA Youth. You don't leave the SA Youth platform, and it's all 0 rated. It doesn't charge any airtime or data. So anything you do on the SA Youth platform on our Mobi site, it just doesn't charge any data. However, there are also opportunities that we pull in from other platforms. So, Zeng mentioned we partner with many other organizations, recruiting companies across all sectors. And what we do is we advertise opportunities on different platforms. So you might see an opportunity that's coming from there. When you go into that opportunity, it's the ones that don't have the partner verification badge. When you go into that opportunity, what we do once you apply is just give you a little bit of a warning to say, this is going to redirect you to somewhere else. So it might redirect you, for example, to a PNet or a JobJack or one of the other platforms, in which case we can't guarantee that that website is going to charge you data or not. So it's just a warning before you move on to say, just note that moving on to this other site to complete your application might charge you data, so that you can make the choice whether you want to do that or you want to do it at a later stage when you have data to apply. So that's what that's about.
Thank you so much. And before I let you go, Kuben, the security question, Catherine's security question about what security methods have you put in place to secure our personal details once we have registered on SA Youth? I think you touched on it earlier, but yeah, it keeps coming up. What concerns me is when you have already registered and you received a phone call and the caller states that they're from SA Youth, and I ask for personal information over the phone, claiming that they just need verification or that they just want to update your details. Can you speak back from a technology perspective and just from a POPIA perspective again? I think the issue around personal information and the protection and safety of it is coming up quite a lot. I know that Lesego touched on it, but I think it's from the back end. Are we safe?
Yeah. So yeah, Lesego did touch on it. I think maybe to explain what happens is you register on SA Youth. You will see when you register, there's terms and conditions that you have to agree to and sign. Those terms and conditions, we've taken great pains to not make it, terribly long as many T's and C's are, and to make it simple enough that you can understand, how do we use the data, what rights you're kind of giving us. And again, if you have any questions, you have every right and obligation to contact us to, ask us what data do we have on you, how do we use the data, and access to that. So that's all kind of in the T's and C's. In the building of your profile then on the Mobi side, we also try and make it very easy and simple. We don't ask you to upload, 20 different documents and print and certify these, as you may do for other job seeking. We try and get as little information as possible that we can use to be able to match you to opportunities. Once that is done, some of you may well get a call from our contact center, as Lesego had mentioned, to check in on you. It might be because you haven't completed everything on your profile and we aren't able to match you to all of the opportunities. So they may call you to say, okay, there's some additional information on your profile that would be great to have so that we can match you for more information, or to check in on you to see if we can support you in kind of some way. You will know that we are calling. If you look at our number, we have a toll-free number. It's 0800 72 7272 or 0800 SA SA SA. If you look at the keys on your kind of keypad, and you know that that is us. Again, if you're worried, about the call, and you want to cut it and then try and call us back on our verified phone number, then you're also kind of welcome to do that. But that's how you know it's us. And as I think Lesego mentioned, how we manage your information from a call center point of view.
Thank you so much, Kuben. Yeah, I think that is so useful just to understand it from multiple perspectives. I also like that the terms and conditions have been written in a very inclusive and simple way so that young people are able to understand what is being said and what they are saying yes to. Unfortunately, we've reached the end of this engagement today, and I think my challenge and maybe even question or invitation rather is to all of the young people, the media, our community members who've joined this live to really also just join the conversation around the role that we can each play in just ensuring that young people continue to access viable, quality jobs in a safe way. So to really reflect on what role can I play to ensure that young South Africans are able to access jobs in a safe way. And then perhaps to the panel, in closing, I'd like to invite you to, it's been a tough week, like Zeng said. We have been having to really think about multiple things, really trying to put young people at the center of everything that we do, even in moments like this. What is your big wish going into the next week or in the next couple of days? And maybe we'll start with you, Kuben. What is your one wish for young work seekers right now, today?
Yeah, I mean, just reflecting exactly on what Zeng said, more than just being kind of sad for the brand SA Youth this week, it's just sad for young people in general, because this trend in social media and a lot of it being just false misinformation have made young people really scared to look for work again, especially, going out and looking for work and applying for opportunities in certain areas that have been, labeled as, this is unsafe. So my wish really is that young people can feel safe again and really be safe when looking for work. My wish is to bring the cost of looking for work down to zero so that young people don't pay for that. And for companies to just see all of your ability and potential and not just ask you for work experience and degrees. And so on behalf of our team, I commit to do everything that we can so that you can see that come true.
Thank you so much. Lesego? I don't know. Yeah, there we go.
I'm here. Oops.
Your biggest learn, your biggest wish for young work seekers.
Okay, my biggest wish, as Kuben said, is we have picked up on a lot of fear while our young work seekers are calling in to speak to us. And we hope by us putting our number out there, by us putting our contact details out there, to say that regardless of who you are, where you are you on our platform or not, call us and let us make you feel better about applying. And yes, again, Kuben said there's over 4,000 opportunities that are still left on our SA Youth Mobi site. So I encourage our work seekers to apply, and get the job.
Thank you, Lesego. Zakira?
Great. I think for me is I would love the youth to start believing in themselves. The right opportunities out there, and this platform can actually help you and connect you with it. And it might just require a little bit of patience, but it's not to give up, not to lose hope, and to believe that you are capable and you are worthy and that job is going to pop up. And then I think one of the biggest learnings for me this week, to me, would be definitely to work on improving that SMS feature so that we don't allow our young people to be spammed.
Thank you. You know we're going to hold you accountable. So yeah, thank you so much.
I take it.
Zeng?
Thanks so much, Dumi. I think mine would be to say, I think one wish that I have is that young people don't give up hope. I think at the SA Youth platform, within our organization, one of the things that we always say is that hope is essential. Every single young person deserves a job. They deserve an opportunity to earn an income, to support themselves, to support their families, to support their communities. And so for me, the real thing is that you deserve this opportunity. You deserve to keep trying, and we just don't want you. There may be people out there who perhaps don't have the same intentions that we have and that you have for yourselves. But despite that all, despite the misinformation, despite the fear-mongering, I think my wish is for you to understand that there's a team of people, the SA Youth platform, and these are not just the operators, but an entire ecosystem of people that are on your side and that want you to have opportunities. Please don't give up hope. That's my wish.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Kuben. Thank you, Lesego. Thank you, Zakira. Thank you, Zeng. I think it's been an important engagement, and we invite you to continue to share your questions, your concerns, your feedback. Again, I think from Harambee, we remain committed to unlocking the barriers that keep young people or that exclude young people, keep young people excluded from the economy, but also we remain committed to keeping young people at the center of everything that we do and unlocking job opportunities for South Africa's youth. I thank you all. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your feedback. And to our panel, thank you so much for your insights, your commitments. I think that we're in good hands. Thank you, everybody. Dumi with a Y, it has been a privilege. And I hope to see you on the next live where we will be talking jobs, jobs, jobs. Apply, apply, apply. #SA Youth.